Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, the weather wasn't changing as much as the previous week before, so the pressure wasn't too bad, but it still was fluctuating, and that definitely impacted the bite around the area. And plus, guess what? We're in that time of the year, the latter stage of January, early February, where, it's kind of like the dog days of summer. It's the dog days of winter, and the bite gets a little bit tougher out there, but with the colder air coming in, the good thing is the ice will definitely firm up, and we'll be making a lot of it over the next 7 to 10 days. As far as the bite is concerned around the area, the lakes up in the northeast that produce walleyes included Bitter, Waubay, Dry Lake by Clark, also Opitz, Bullhead, Goose, Big Stone, as well as Clear, and a few at 3 Buck. And then down the southeastern part of the state, those lakes included Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Thompson, 81 Ponds, a few at Sinai, as well as Campbell. Then also a few at Beaver, but also Twin. The trophy lake produced a lot of walleyes this past week, but especially after sunset. The bite gets a lot better after sunset. The lures that a lot of guys were using this past week, again, continue to be a little bit more aggressive. A lot of shiver minnows being purchased this past week, and a lot of guys having a lot of success with them, as well as the ripping wraps, and then also the VMC Tingler and Tumbler spoons. And as far as the perch bite is concerned, again, a lot of guys have been going out looking for the perch and coming away with some really nice fish lately. And the lakes that produced perch this past week included Waubay, Big Stone, Bitter, Lardy Slough, as well as Hazelton, Bullhead, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Thompson, a few at 81 Ponds, and then also Sinai. And what guys have been using, again, a lot of live bait. But as far as the jigs are concerned, the clam pinhead minnows, again, I'll have to say it, especially our Wonder Bread color. And then also drop chain lures like the Pilkies, the Haleys, and then also the Kinder T-Rips have been working this past week as well. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about an oldie but a goodie, and that has to do with weather and pressure changes. That's the one thing people ask me all the time about is how does the weather affect fishing? Well, we kind of alluded to that last week with all the pressure changes, how that negatively impacted the bite, and that's very true. The old saying, when the wind's from the west, the fish bite the best. When the wind is from the east, the fish bite least. And that has to do with pressure. When the pressure is rising, there's a lot of weight pushing down in that body of water, and especially so in the wintertime because a lot of that volume of water is taken up by the ice. So that weight of that atmosphere is pushing down on that body of water, and that fish is trying to compensate for it, and you will actually see them being negatively buoyant. In other words, what I mean by that is when you're watching your depth finder and you're sitting there jigging, you'll see the fish come up to it, look at it for a while, and then go back down. That's when the pressure is rising. At that point in time, you need to downsize your jigs. Maybe even go to plastics maybe they don't like the live bait. But when the pressure is falling, the wind's out of the south, all of a sudden they become more aggressive. They're on the prowl. They're looking for it. So again, pressure falling is good. Pressure rising isn't so good, and you have to work a little bit harder. What we used to call a half bucket day or a full bucket day. A full bucket day, the pressure's falling. The fish are on the prowl. They're aggressive. They're hungry. And when the pressure is rising, it's that half bucket day, and you have to go looking for those aggressive fish and change your tactics based upon what the fish are telling you. If they're negatively buoyant, you may need to downsize. But again, don't change your plans. Go out when you can go out, folks. Just adjust how you fish according to the weather, the one thing that you can't control. And now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to todd@dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And folks, before we end this week's report, I want to remind you of a couple of ongoing sales that we have here at the store. All our shacks, as well as clothing, are all on sale, as well as augers and electronics. So again, if you're looking for that last minute, part of the season deal, make sure you stop on by here at the store at 1120 East Benson Road in Sioux Falls, or check us out on the web at dakotaangler.com, or also give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, folks, thanks for watching. Stay healthy, and please stay safe.